Donald Trump called Chicago a hellhole. Yes, those were his words, and now he's backing them up with action.
Chicago is a hellhole right now. Well, we're going in. I didn't say when, we're going in. If the governor of Illinois would call me up, I would love to do it. Now, we're going to do it anyway. We have the right to do it because I have an obligation to protect this country.
Hundreds of National Guard troops from Texas have arrived here as the president continues to deploy them to Democrat-run cities. He's threatening to invoke the Insurrection Act, a 19th century law that's rarely been used. That would allow him to bypass state leaders and legal challenges to send the military onto the streets.
What?
The Insurrection Act, under what conditions or terms would you invoke?
Well, I'd do it if it was necessary. So far it hasn't been necessary, but we have an Insurrection Act for a reason. If I had to enact it, I'd do that.
But local officials are pushing back. Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker has blasted this as a power grab, a Trump invasion, and says Chicago is a safe place and doesn't need troops. It's also being challenged in the courts. Critics argue there's no legal basis for deployments, no rebellion, no insurrection, no request from the state.
It's a shame that we see in some cities across the country that their mayors are just simply refusing to cooperate because they don't like Donald Trump. And that's what this boils down to. Chicago needs more law enforcement reinforcement.
First of all, it's illegal, unconstitutional, it's dangerous, it's wrong. This is not about deportation. This is not about safety for this president. This is about authoritarianism. It's about stoking fear. It's about breaking the Constitution that would give him that much more control over our American cities.
The Insurrection Act grants the president permission to use the military for law enforcement when there's civil unrest or a national crisis. Historically, it's only been used at the invitation of state governors, like during the race riots or anti-war protests of the 60s. It was last invoked by George Bush Sr. during the LA riots in 1992.
People, I just want to say, you know, can we all get along? Can we get along?
Rodney King's plea for peace came after 4 LA police officers who'd beaten him on camera were acquitted, triggering riots and arson. Floating the Insurrection Act when troops are mobilizing in Chicago is a bold gamble. It risks opening a constitutional flashpoint, one that many states and civil rights groups will fight. The threshold for insurrection is vague, so the White House will have to prove there's enough risk of civil unrest to justify the deployment of the military.